Vaya, Fernando, ¿qué tal? Good afternoon, Fernando. Could you hear me?
Hola.
Okay.
Hola,
Fernando.
Hola, Javier. ¿Todo bien?
Todo bien.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. I was doing the introduction of the conference. Also, Wasim, he said hello before. And okay, let me, Fernando, just to finish the introduction, and I let you continue about the project. Entonces, os estaba contando que después de todas estas semanas de mucho trabajo, de esfuerzo, pues estamos aquí para presentaros lo que es dónde estamos en el proyecto, en el nuevo Nimbus DeFi, la fase 2. Si recordáis, este proyecto tenía tres fases. La fase 1 es en la que estábamos, la fase 2 que comenzamos hace un mes y en el que estamos acabando de ejecutar y perfilar los últimos detalles. Y ahora es lo que os queremos presentar. Ya habéis tenido oportunidad de ver la nueva web. Ya habéis, muchos de vosotros, hecho el link con MetaMask. Y bueno, todavía queda muchos de vosotros que está esto pendiente. Pero bueno, son cosas que tenemos que ir teniendo en cuenta para los próximos días, ¿de acuerdo? Un momento que creo que tenemos que añadir también a Jorge, ¿no? Un segundo, ¿no, Fernando?
Sí.
Ok. One second. And if do you want, Fernando, we could start, and mainly I will try to add Jorge to the Zoom. Is okay for your side?
Yeah, sure. Of course, yes. Okay. So thank you, Javier, for the introduction. And again, hello, everyone. I'm going to take you through some of updates we have, and I'm really sorry, but I'm extremely tired. It's been really day after day after day. But I will try my best to give a very good presentation with a lot of clarity. Okay, so let me just share the screen first, and then we can.
Fernando, one question. Maybe you need to add Jorge to the call, because I changed. You're the actual administrator of the Zoom. Could you do, please?
Okay, then.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, George.
I'm here. I'm still not as a panelist, but it's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
Need to promote otherwise.
Okay, I had you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so let me just go and share the screen so I can continue. Let me know if when we.
Could you mute your microphone, please? Because it looks like there's a sound.
George, yeah, please mute the microphone, George, please. Thank you. Okay, so you can see the screen, yes? Javier, can you confirm you can see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
we can see it.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to give an update of everything we've been doing and the next steps. And then George and Wasim, each other, are gonna give a couple of minutes as well about the journey and everything that fits within the dApps that we are creating, etc. So, and it is an ecosystem of dApps. As you know, we spoke about this. Some of them, you know what they are, and it is what is the state and what we're doing. Yeah. So I'll talk about that, but I think what we want is Wasim and George then to talk about Nimbus as well, and about why it's so important to do what we're doing at the right time and at the right speed. Yeah. So regulations update. So we've been going through with the lawyers, and it is quite time consuming because it goes back and forwards, and coronavirus has delayed a lot of these things. So I am reviewing now a document that we're going to submit. It was supposed to be not this week, but the week before. So we are finally there, and I'm reviewing a document. Then we need to sign it and submit to the central bank and to the regulator. Yeah. And then once that's done, we're going to publish that. Well, we're going to the news officially come out with the news and tell that it's ongoing. Yeah. And give more details about that. So it's not ideal. You know, I would, as you know, I would like to be quite far ahead at this stage. But, you know, the regulations are always, I was being too optimistic. But anyway, we're going to get there, okay? So, tech development, going to give you an update about that and more some of the things we are doing and some of the things that are still missing, yeah? Strategic alliances, the questionnaire, yeah, that went out, and then the next steps, yeah? So, don't get too scared about this big picture, but I wanted really to give you an update so you understand that about the tech development and how everything fits within, yeah? And I'll break it down. And this call is really to try to make you understand and simplifying what we are actually doing here, yeah? And in this picture, it's very complex, but at the same time, you know, as you go through step by step from left to right, you will understand how it all fits. And in the end, I'll show you this picture again. Yeah. So the Nimbus users. The Nimbus users can be current users or all new users that we are going to target now. Yeah. We want to be a global platform, and we are already doing a lot of the things. And you've seen some of the additions we had to the team, so we can actually have a good marketing plan, enhanced marketing plan, not that it was not good, but an enhanced marketing plan to go to other markets, yeah? So for that, you need to create strategic partnerships. We just made an agreement with one about a week ago, and we kicked off the meetings, and we just basically going to continue. And those partners are going to take us to markets like China, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Philippines. Yeah, that's the part of Southeast Asia that we're going to target first. We have partners as well that are dealing with the European market, and we're just about to finish some of those conversations. And then you're going to start to see a lot more marketing activities with Nimbus, yeah? As you know, it needs time so we can start to get the momentum, yeah? And the critical part here was to make sure we did all the necessary financial modeling calculations. We still are working on another 16 financial models, and I'll talk to you about that, yeah? But the core is pretty much done, yeah? So, a Nimbus user, you know, you saw that some of the things that we published was user guides for people to use a MetaMask wallet. Why? So the promise of Nimbus was always that you, the end user, you are in control, yeah, of your own financials, yeah? Nobody's holding those financials to you. Yeah, sorry, in your behalf. So you are in control of your finances. Yeah. So part of this is that you are in control of your own crypto that you have. Yeah. And part of the ecosystem to move into DeFi is actually to have a MetaMask wallet. This is extremely important. Yeah. So Wasim was very kind, and we spoke a lot about this, but he went to do a video. I'm not sure. I don't think Wasim is a natural YouTuber or videographer, but he did quite a great job. So thank you, Wasim. And he produced a guide based on trying to simplify as much as he could based on some of the videos, some guides that are out there on the internet. Yeah. And the community, there were some members of our community. Thank you so much for producing a nice guide, and that's really excellent. So I heard you, the first step is try to understand really MetaMask wallet and how you can have the crypto, because this is going to enable you in the future. You're always going to need this, yeah? Not just now with Nimbus, but the future is going to go in that direction, yeah? So you always need to have a wallet so you can actually manage your own cryptocurrency, yeah? So once you have the MetaMask wallet, what allows you to do is to swap Ethereum for our token, yeah, NIM. So I pause a little bit there, okay? So there's one thing that we did, which was we didn't update yet some of the things that we are doing. The token NIM already exists, yeah? So what we did was to update some of the documentation that then went to be curated and then went to the website, and also it is here. So when we update the website with the new token name, yeah, there's two at the moment that we're just going through again, reviewing everything to make sure we don't come back again. They say there is already a token, yeah. We will go and we'll create that token and we'll update the website and all the documentation, okay? So my apologies for that. It's better to find while we're doing this than after, isn't it? So it was some of the community members that highlighted that. So thank you very much to you, yeah? So you can also then, once you have NIM on your wallet, you can then swipe it back for Ethereum at any point in time. You are in control. You can do this back and forwards. You can buy and sell NIM or any other crypto that you want, yeah? Then on the other side, yeah, there's another token that we are creating, which I will talk a little bit later about that, which is GNIM, okay? It's going to change the name as well, yeah, because G means governance, yeah, governance. It's a token that enables the governance across the entire Nimbus ecosystem, okay? And again, you can swap Ethereum for GNIM or GNIM for Ethereum, yeah? What you can do then with it, so you already have NIMs in your wallet, yeah? Then to participate in the tools, yeah, that we are providing to pretty much everyone that is out there that wants to take advantage of decentralized applications, dApps, yeah? What you can do then with NIM is you can add liquidity, yeah, not have. You don't have to. You can keep the NIM in your wallet and that's it. You don't need to do anything else, yeah? And you can sell it anytime you want. You can wait until the price goes up, or you want to sell it straight away, you sell it. It's up to you to decide what you want to do with it, yeah? If the price goes down, you might want to sell it as well. So it's up to you, right? But if you want to participate and generate some income for you, you can as well, because then now you have NIM, and if you match with Ethereum or with WBTC, which is wrapped Bitcoin, so this is a token that is attached to the Bitcoin value, yeah? And it's called a wrapper. So in fact, if you can get Ethereum or you can get WBTC, and you pair it with the NIMs that you want. So for example, if you have $100 in NIM, yeah, you will have to put the equivalent of $100 in Ethereum because it's 50-50, yeah, that you put. Then you add this to the liquidity pool. Yeah, and what happens is it's still in your wallet. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. You're still the owner of these tokens, NIM and Ethereum. Yeah, but what it is it's associated to this pool in the Ethereum blockchain. Yeah, which is transparent. This is not Nimbus technology. Yeah, it is on the Ethereum blockchain, and it associates that you add $100 in NIM and $100 in Ethereum, and you add that as a pair to a pool, to the crowdfunding pool. What does that mean? This is just an example, crowdfunding. Yeah, there's several dApps, as you can see. As you can see here on this screen, there's several dApps here: arbitrage, P2P loans, crowdfunding, IPO hub, and we don't want to stop there, yeah, because we create an ecosystem here. Yeah, I chose this example, crowdfunding. Yeah, so now what you do is you provide that liquidity to the crowdfunding pool. Yeah. On the other side, you have startups that are looking for investment. They're looking for money, right? So there's a process there in the dApp. In the startup, in the crowdfunding dApp, a startup that wants to find some funding, they will come to our service, that dApp, and there's a questionnaire that it needs to fill. This is all predefined, okay? And it's going to be questions, for example, are you in revenue? Yeah, if they say yes, how much is your revenue? Yeah. Are you in profit? Yes. How much is the profit? That type of questions. Then it goes through the startup. That then there's a predefined evaluation criteria that decides if what this startup submitted, is it good, and if it is the type of startups that are investable at this stage. Yeah. If it is, these are shortlisted into a specific number of startups, for example, 10. Yeah. So within a month, within a week, yeah, this is decided then by yourselves. I will explain how you decide about which startups that the investment goes through. Okay. I repeat again, you don't need to participate in this. Yeah. You can keep your tokens with you. But if you want to give your tokens to be invested, yeah, and then wait for some return, this is what I'm trying to explain. Yeah. So the startups then they come, for example, ask for $100,000, yeah, for investment. There's a contract there. This is all automated, by the way, all into smart contracts that stay in the Ethereum blockchain. Okay. What the smart contracts then will say is, there's a couple of options here depending on what startup decides. Yeah. Do I want to give equity of my startup, or do I want to go with convertible notes? And then there's a time period that is vests, 12 months, for example. Yeah. Where the startup has to pay within 12 months the money that they took plus the interest. Yeah. Or whatever you want to call it. It's not an interest. Yeah. It is whatever we decide that we want to take as part of that, 20%, 30%. Yeah. It's not an interest because it's not a loan. Yeah. So it is really what do we think that it is the right amount of return that we want. Yeah. And then if the startup accepts, automatically they get the crypto into their wallet. Yeah. But there's a contract there that decides many other things, which is exactly the vesting period. And if it is equity, if after 12 months, 24 months, yeah, the startup doesn't pay back, that's convertible into equity. Yeah. And then there's several risk profiles that we are deciding. Yeah? So this is quite a complicated DApp, but I choose it on purpose, complicated, so that you understand that there's many different levels, but at the time it's easy because it's like this. The startup wants money. There's many people that provided, thousands of people have provided some of this liquidity. So your risk is shared with many people. Yeah. It's not just one person that takes all the risk. There's a mathematical formula there that decides then how it splits, and how the risk is split and how it is funded, that startup. Yeah. So it might be because you provided $100 of liquidity of NIM and 100 of Ethereum, so $200. It doesn't mean that for that startup, your $200 will go. Yeah, it might be $5, or $10 or $50. Depends how much the startup wants. Yeah, that's how it's. It's proportional to the pool. Yeah, and also to the money that the startup wants. Okay. So I'll explain you more then later about what are the advantages if you actually decide to put this. Basically, what we are attacking here and tackling is VCs and funds that it's very complicated for a startup and it takes a lot of time, and the startup then, a lot of times they do not understand even, what the VC is talking about. And we're trying to simplify here and to totally decentralize and distribute the risk by thousands of people and not by one or two VCs that put a lot of risk on a crowdfunding. Yeah, so we discussed that before. We're trying to provide a mechanism that people just go, okay, I have here some crypto, I want to get some return, and you just put it there and you just wait. Yeah, and you get, if the startup becomes the next Google, after 2 or 3 years, well, it will not be exactly what Google is now, but I think you understand what I mean. In 2 or 3 years, the startup could be valued 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more than what the money was given. Yeah. So there is the promise here, yeah, to fund startups with crypto. Yeah. And for you or anyone to participate with their crypto. I foresee this to be one of the most successful dApps that is going to be out there. Yeah. Because we're creating something new. Yeah. And you know how difficult it is to get a business going, without having access to crypto. And this is a shared risk, so it's quite easy to be able to fund this type of things. Yeah. So now we're going to talk about another thing, which is what is a DAO. Okay. A DAO is a distributed autonomous organization. So there is no central control. I don't control this. Nimbus doesn't control this. Nobody controls it. Yeah. It is the people that have the tokens, the governance tokens, that control it, proportional to the number of tokens that you have. Yeah. So if you have, this is 100%. If you have 10% of the tokens, total tokens, then you have 10% of the vote. Totally democratic vote. Okay. And I'll explain you what is the vote. But not only that. What you have is proportional percentage from every single transaction in the Nimbus ecosystem. What does that mean? The revenues generated by the entire ecosystem doesn't belong to Nimbus, belongs to the people who have the GNIM token. Yeah? And is proportional distributed, again, to the number of tokens that you have. So in effect, yeah, in the traditional world where you see that people are the owners of the company or shareholders, it's not the same concept, obviously, but it's the equivalent to potentially is not the same, by the way. I have to say this. And from a legal perspective, is not the same, okay? But what it is, you have a share of all the revenue that comes from all the transactions in the system, okay? How then you can get this? Because this is a big prize for whoever has GNIM tokens, yeah? Again, you can swap Ethereum for GNIM, and you can vote yes or no. Yeah, and it's very, very easy to do this because it's user out there. It's not just for Nimbus user at the moment. It's not for the community at the moment only. Yeah, what's I've been describing, all of this is for any user that comes into Nimbus. Yeah. So let's talk about our community at the moment. At the moment, people have an MBT plus gems. Yeah, they have deposits. Okay. So airdrops are going to happen and are going to happen at different times. And there are reasons for that. It's risk. It's about spreading the risk and try to not to affect the Nimbus business. Because if we accelerate this, if we try to do things very fast, things will fall through. Okay. This is about creating expectation in the market. This is about spreading the risk. Yeah. This is about making people understand the value, because as you go through this, people understand the value as well. Okay. So what you get is NIM, an airdrop of NIM initially, and for every dollar that you have in MBT or gems, yeah, you get a NIM plus a percentage that we're adding on top. We want to be generous. We want to thank to everyone at Nimbus for the support and for being patient, because with this we have to be patient. Yeah. And then that NIM will appear in your wallet. Okay. Deposits is going to be the same thing, because we will be doing airdrops to GNIM. So in effect, you become the controllers of what's happening within Nimbus, all of you. And all of you will be receiving the revenues that are coming from every single transaction in the system because you have the GNIM, yeah? And at some point, you can swap it back, your GNIM for Ethereum, yeah? Or you might want to keep it because you are getting your wallet increased by every single dollar that happens in that system, okay? So you might think, where is all that money coming from? These are all the revenue channels, and we're going to create more, okay? Because there will be more dApps and so on. So arbitrage, yeah, there is. I took the percentage out for this presentation because we are still playing a little bit with it, okay? We will publish quite soon all of the profit levels that could be generated by each one of these, okay? So the first one is arbitrage, yeah? The second one is the marketplace with the dApps that you have, you know, IPO hubs, etc., yeah? Then liquidity providing, yeah? As I was explaining, you can provide liquidity, yeah? But every time somebody provides liquidity, that generates a transaction on the Ethereum blockchain and on Uniswap, yeah? A percentage of that also comes back to Nimbus, yeah, and distributed for the Nimbus holders, yeah. When I say Nimbus, I mean the Nimbus wallet that is created, and we don't have control. We can't do anything about that. The Nimbus ourselves, yeah. It is in a smart contract, and it's executable, and it distributes all of this, yeah. For staking, for any swap fees, like I said, anyone that buys or sells anything, yeah, there's a percentage that goes straight away to the people. Aggregator pools, P2P loans, yeah, different ones, the deposit credit options, subordinated loans. Again, we are at the moment finalizing, trying to make it simple for everyone, yeah, to understand, because some of these are quite complex. So we are doing a lot of content curation at the moment, yeah, and preparing this for having proper marketing materials to start to push out, yeah. So all of this will be described. And not only just the arbitrage trading, but there's pools for arbitrage trading. So on the pools, there's also revenue coming from that, yeah? And then there's consolidation of those pools for P2P loans. So there's 11 revenue channels that are going to go to the DAO and to the Nimbus users, sorry, the GNIM token holders. So if you own GNIM, what happens is you're always going to get the revenue coming from every single thing that happens in that platform, okay? Proportionally, of course, to the number of tokens that you have. So the big picture here is this, like I said, everything that happens here on the left side in the entire ecosystem, everything, every transaction generates a small percentage, and that's the revenue for Nimbus, yeah? Who gets it? Everyone that has the governance token GNIM, okay? And also voting for anything that happens on the left side. For any changes that is authorized, that is in smart contracts, yeah? That's what the DAO will be publishing. That's what the DAO votes will decide, yeah? What are the next actions? We want to increase, decrease, because, for example, if the market out there is in trouble, yeah, you might want to decide, and again, it's not me, it's just the community. They might want to decide to increase or decrease the interest on the P2P loans, for example, yeah. And P2P loans is also, we have one type of loan that's going to use collateral. Do you want to change collateral from 10% or from 20 to 10, yeah? or increase from 10 to 15. It all depends. And this is going to be always a democratic vote, because people will decide. Other people don't care. They don't care about the voting. And it's normal. Many people just say, hey, this is giving me, because that's going to be published constantly, you know, the pools will show what is the current return. What is the API? It will show 14%, it will show 50%, whatever it is, that is the constant return, because everything is in smart contracts, in code. So all the time you're seeing this in real time, what's happening. Yeah? And then it's up people to vote. Do you want to increase or decrease? And it depends a lot on what is the sentiment around the platform, what is the sentiment around the markets out there, and people will react to it. Yeah. The critical thing here to understand is that there's no central organization deciding what to do with your money. It's everyone together. And if you don't want to have it there, you just hold it in your wallet. Yeah, it's so simple as that. Yeah, keep it in your wallet. You don't need to invest in anything. Yeah, that's it. Because why? All of this is generating revenues. And as the ecosystem grows and the appetite for governance tokens is huge, a lot of people want just to get governance tokens, because exactly what I said. Yeah, there's a big share of the revenues. What that means is, to be able to get the governance revenue, GNIM, any new users coming to the platform, they have to get NIM. They have to swap their Ethereum for NIM. So what that means is, NIM will be always looked for people, and the tendency then is for the value increase. Nothing can guarantee it, of course, and there's no promise here that anything is going to increase. And you know, it's how the market works. Yeah, I don't need to tell promises to anyone, because most people understand how it is. Yeah, and it wouldn't be right for me to promise anything. But as the potential value of GNIM, of NIM increases, so will the GNIM value of the token. Yeah, and you can just hold it like you have any other coins or tokens and wait for it. Yeah. So as we progress with the dApps and there's more traction of users, the ecosystem is going to grow. What we want to be is, within 12 months, $1 billion organization. Okay. So what you see here in the DAO and all of things around the DAO is what's going to take us to be $1 billion organization. And the financial modeling that we've created is exactly to be in 12 months to be $1 billion organization. Okay. So this is the big picture again. Yeah. I hope now you understand, as I broke down all the different parts of the big picture. But the critical thing, and I keep saying this to everyone, yeah, the critical thing here is for people to understand that the DAO and GNIM is really what Nimbus have been promising for a long time. Is the people will be in control of the platform. You will be the people that drive in the platform and taking most of the revenues. Yeah, by what? By providing all of these products and services below. Yeah, all of these dApps. So the core of Nimbus is really the dApps. Yeah, and the DAO with the governance token. This is the core. This is what the value is going to be. Yeah. So I'm going to share with you a little bit. This is some of the user journeys we took, and it's quite big. Again, there's no styling yet on the user interface, but we are like 3 days away from actually starting to test a lot of these things. Yeah, and then we need to do an audit of the code. Okay. Some of these screenshots we took, you know, we already renaming some of these things just to show you that, you know, there's a lot of work in progress at the moment. And we really need to focus a lot more. And, you know, there's always a lot of things to do, obviously, you know, but it's to focus a lot more in trying to do the right thing. Yeah, and I'll explain a little bit. So, again, these are the plan that we put together, a very high level, you know, so we can actually create the smart contracts, basically, this is the core of Nimbus, yeah? We are at the right stage at the moment, okay? We are really, how should I say, the right word? I don't want to promise anything, but we are nearly there, okay? So we had to review the roadmap, yeah? The NIM token launch is going to happen this quarter, okay? GNIM token launch happens this quarter, and Nimbus DAO happens this quarter, yeah? We've tried to launch as well allowance DApp, okay? You'll come probably, most probably, if you achieve this, you will come with one of the loans. We want to provide 3-4 different type of loans, but it will come with one of the loans initially, okay? Stan, I didn't talk to you about Stan token because it's just a stable coin. And when we create it and we're going to launch it in January 21, well, quarter one is going to be between January and end of March, yeah? Depends on a lot of things, yeah? It's just really to give the mechanism of stability. So don't worry too much about that now, because I think it's important for you to understand many other things, you know? The Stan is published as well for anyone that wants to understand what Stan is about, yeah? Then we will also do the crowdfunding app. The crowdfunding app is quite exciting, and we foresee quite a lot of interest out there for this, okay? And that's going to drive the governance token to a different level right from the beginning, yeah? And then, of course, you know, IPO Hub is the big one. There's a lot of things being talked at the moment with regulators and with lawyers. We still are in the same process because you're trying to bridge the gap between the worlds that we have today, you know, the trading world, stocks, gold, whatever asset you have out there, and crypto, and how to provide a mechanism for people to participate in that. And it's not easy; it's quite tough, but you know, we'll cross that, and there's some interesting conversations at the moment, but we will not do much at the moment around that. There's plenty of work for us to do. So, NIM token launch. We don't want really to rush this, okay? There's a lot of pressure, and I want to talk to you about that, okay? But the NIM token launch, we want to do it between the last week of November and first week of December, okay? And we'll set a date. The exact date, we have to set the date by the end of this next week, okay? Why? Because at the moment, when I talk a little bit earlier about the partners, yeah? Essential for all of this is to come with partnerships out there, you know? Crypto funds, any funds that want to participate in this is extremely important, you know? Why? Because this is what's going to attract everyone out there to actually participate. This is not just about us, the users of Nimbus platform here, yeah? This is about attracting the entire world to come and be part of this. Why? Because they're going to give value to you, yeah? It's the value is for you. Never forget, everything that we're doing here, creating this, is to give that value back to you, okay? And by doing the right things and these right partnerships, and when you see some of the partnerships that we are going to publish, you know, soon, and soon I'm talking 8 to 10 days, okay, maximum, yeah? Then you start to understand why it's important to do things in the right place, because if we accelerate, none of these partners will come, okay? So what is essential for the partners to say yes, yeah? We want to be part of this amazing thing, yeah? You have to have the code published, yeah? Even if it is, hey, we are having the code for audit, it's on Ethereum blockchain, okay? So that's the first step. We are just about finalizing, and we have a test that we can do in the next 2 days, Monday. It's going to be Monday, okay? Which is going to be me actually going to do the test, which I'm going to go there, and I'm going to put some Ethereum, and I'm going to swap it for NIM, and I'm going to follow the whole user journey to make sure there are no bugs, and we're going to observe back in the code in the blockchain what's happening, to make sure that what we thought and what's in the code is actually happening. Once we are happy about that, then the code auditor is a very well reputable organization. When you see it, you can do and can talk to everyone out there. Everybody knows them. They're going to audit the code to make sure that what we're saying here is actually happening, that it is you that is going to receive all the revenues from the Nimbus platform, okay? That it is you that is going to decide through voting, of everything that happens in the platform. This is the code in the smart contracts in Ethereum blockchain. And this is what the auditor is going to look, because we're going to give this, and we're going to give all the documentation, and they're going to say, okay, we're going to look at the code. They will look at the code and they'll match, yes, yes, yes. And that they will say is, they'll publish a report. The report will be published on our website. And they will say, everything that Nimbus has said, or what Nimbus has said about this, and this, it is in the code. At that point, that's when we can launch, okay? Now, at the point that we publish the code for testing is when the partners are going to look at that and they'll say, okay, we can, because they have analysts. They have a lot of people who understand this already. And those people are the ones who are going to come and give really and attract everyone out there in the crypto blockchain world, fintech, to come and participate in this platform. This creates an enormous value for everyone. So, that we've been looking at adding new people to the team. We had quite a few. We published the ones that we think is essential for you to interact with, and give you peace of mind that we're actually doing all these things. Is the marketing team, they join us. You've seen they have an excellent experience, in a lot of stuff in blockchain, etc., communications. Some lived in China, some lived in Switzerland, so we kind of are creating a very strong team around, okay? And the outcome of that is that we are actually together at the moment, and we're finalizing pieces of the marketing plan so that we can actually start to push out the message. And that means to a lot of communities, crypto communities out there. You see more publications out there, Forbes, everywhere. We're going to publish stuff everywhere. We're going to get YouTubers to talk about us, and again, all of those people need to actually see there is code there. This is extremely important, because otherwise it's just, a website, a presentation, right? So this is extremely important for us to be able to go at a certain pace, and get it right. Because when you do this type of project, you can only get it right once, that's why the partnerships are quite important, so when we're going to do this, I'm going to ask a couple of our community users, that actually understand. I'm not saying that you don't understand, all of you crypto, but actually understand the lower level in terms of blockchain and smart contracts, okay? And I'm going to ask them if they want to be testing users of the platform, And we're going to give them access to look at that. And then they can feed back to you, okay? Because they are part of your community, We want to be transparent to everyone about this, okay? So, and again, there's going to be things that they can tell you. We're going to ask them, obviously, these type of things you cannot say, because it's quite important that some of the things that we are still updating on the smart contracts are not published or talked to everyone before they actually is published, because it can change and then you have problems, okay? So, like I said, there are 16 financial projections for the liquidity pools that we're still working on, But we don't want to wait for all of that. What we can is start to publish the core smart contracts. that's going to drive pretty much the whole ecosystem. And those are that we want people to come and help us with. Yeah, we are preparing user guides. Some of them around MetaMask you already have seen. Yeah, the next step is, if you want to participate on a pool step by step, so it's quite clear. Some of the things I said is going to be translated into some user guides. Yeah. We've been talking quite a few partners just for expanding communities. Yeah. What that means is they have access to large communities out there through different media channels, being Telegram, WhatsApp, being whatever, Twitter, at media, social media channels as well. Okay, so this is extremely important as well, because we want to talk about this to everyone out there. Yeah, and we're talking with market makers. Some of these market makers also have the capability to, talk about the project. Yeah. And then we are ready to go live with public sale. Yeah. So a lot of these are happening already. Yeah. This is not going to happen just after whatever. It's a lot of this happening. And in parallel, so we have parallel work streams, but as soon as the code is there ready to be audited, yeah, the first part of the core code, then you're going to start to see us putting a lot of stuff out there. So our communications are going to increase with you constantly, to the time that is going to be launched. And we're going to ask your help as well, because you are the community. We want to ask you then to go out there and spread the word, because you will have the tokens. Yeah, it's in everyone's interest because it's your platform, right? So we want to work with you then how we can amplify everything that we are doing. Yeah. Now, of course, to do that, I know that you want to feel confident, and the confidence is going to give it to you as we are making all of these things publishable, yeah, and transparent, with a lot of transparency. Because once it's there in smart contracts, once you start to see the partners, you can ask there, you can call them, you can talk to them. Everything is transparent there. Okay. What are the top risks? Okay. I don't want to be negative, because I'm trying to be here positive to everyone. Okay. I'm always driven by positivity. Go, 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 no stop. Yeah. And I want to drive everyone, including the community, to be positive, drive, because, it's very easy to get into a sentiment in the community. Then that sentiment can drive to actually things to become really bad. And I'm not saying it's your own fault that you are doing this, but it's a natural thing. Yeah, it just happens like that, So what I say is words have consequences. Yeah, when people speak something, that's word as a consequence. It doesn't matter if it's good or if it's a bad word. Always consequences. And when some of the sentiment is not so positive, that goes against you as well. Yeah. So for me, it's about driving always positive. And I want to drive positivity to you. I really want to talk to you and go deep today in what we are doing, even at technology level, so that you understand. Yeah. And we're going to start, as soon as you start to see these next 8 to 10 days, everything starting to come online, you understand exactly what I'm talking about now. Okay. The top risk is trying to rush to go live because of the pressure. There's a lot of pressure because, a lot of people talking that, where we are, when we're going to get access to this, access to that, And my experience in everything I've done in my life is that when you rush things, you always fail. Always. I never managed to rush anything successfully, Well, not fail, You can rush certain things, but you don't get as successful as you want. Yeah. And like I said, I'm trying to make this a $1 billion platform. Yeah. And all the projections are phenomenal. I have someone working with me that belongs to 3 family offices, creating a lot of these financial projections. We have things like anti-pump and dump strategies to stop these big groups that come and they buy a lot of tokens and the price increases very fast, but then they dump it all and they crash the entire ecosystem. So we build strategies around this financial modeling on the tokenomics to stop stop people from doing that as well. Yeah. And as people will see the projections and they start to see, because all of this is about us building a sustainable business. Yeah. I want to make this one of the top 20 projects out there in DeFi. Yeah. And to do that, we really, really need to be positive and, not rush to go live. Yeah. We have a really good product. I went to ask for feedback to many people in the community. Yeah. I have people want to be part of this. There's people, when you start some of the partnerships, you understand, you'll do a bit of research, you understand who they are in the crypto community, because they see the value that it is in this platform. Yeah. Now, I really want to be able to give this back to you. Yeah, that was my promise when I joined. If you remember, the first time you saw me communicating this to you, is exactly my promise. This is your platform. I want to just give it back to you with a lot more value than what we thought it was. Yeah. So I want to go with this at the right time. Yeah. And I know the pressure is there. I'm not going to take the foot off the accelerator. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not going, I'm not going to relax. Yeah. But what I don't want is really to rush to go really faster and then it's a big car crash. Okay. We have to go at the right speed. I always compare, go in the motorway, the speed limit says 120. Yeah. You go at the speed limit. Yeah. And the speed limit is defined by what you can do and at the right time to do things. Yeah. If you accelerate to go fast, the likelihood is probably going to have an accident, or something worse than that. Okay. So I don't want to do that. Yeah. And I ask you to be patient. Okay. And for anyone who's worried, is concerned, I do understand you. I really do understand you. Okay. I ask you, talk to your leaders. Okay. Javier is available. There's the people around the platform. They will take you through that. How should I say? Being anxious, anxiety. Yeah. I can have another session in the next 3 to 4 days. Let's do like this. Okay. Let's do another session at the end of this next week. Okay. Next weekend. And I'll give you more updates where we are and show you more as we go along, but it's not that not only that, we're going to communicate that anyway. Okay. But I want you to feel that I'm every week and now I'm coming here to talk to you and give you updates constantly. When the code is there to verify, I will tell you the code is there to verify. You can ask some programmer or whoever or somebody works in IT or whatever and say, hey, go and check this. Yeah, they can go and check that. Okay. That's the thing that I'm asking you is let's make sure that, we are all actually driving the positivity on our platform. Yeah. So, George and Wasim, do you want to add anything? I think, yes, you want to add some stuff because we talked before. Yeah. So who wants to go first? Wasim?
Yeah, I'm happy to speak if that's possible now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So basically, what I wanted to talk about is kind of the way that you've walked us through this, Fernando, and I find there's a certain genius in it. And, I'm not just trying to be nice by saying that. And actually, you used some very, very important terminology talking about of course, the ecosystem, which is a really, really big part of what we're doing. The ecosystem is what will drive us to that next level. And, we've already built that, which is a really big advantage. You can have a lot of companies out there that do things well, but having a user community that is part of the success is a very unique and different thing. And having that as the core of what you're building is very, very important. And then I wanted to also kind of, talk a little bit about the timing with the technology where it is now, where we are in the acceptance of cryptocurrency as a global phenomenon. PayPal now is allowing people to buy $20,000 per week of cryptocurrency. It's a huge number. We are starting to see the banks and institutions get on board. And I think that's really, really significant when we talk about crowdfunding and peer-to-peer lending. It's a very big deal. And that's the main thing about this. It is a huge deal what we're talking about now, and the things that you've mentioned today. I hope that the user community is really taking this in and understanding the scope and scale of what we're talking about. Because, you know, if you go out there and you try to build a company and make it $1 billion enterprise within, let's say, a few years, I guess at the end of all of this, next year, it will have been around 2 years. And I think that one man trying to do that, or a few people, is very, very difficult. But when we talk about an ecosystem and being able to leverage the outsized gains of crypto, plus that ability to invest in other companies, plus the partnerships that you're talking about, we're talking about some multiple synergies here that I don't think I'm seeing really anywhere else in any of the other DeFi projects. And again, I'm not just saying that. Anyone can go and do their research. Is there another one like this out there? And I haven't seen one. I haven't heard about one. And so, you know, it's a very exciting time for everyone. And I really like the way you walked us through it. The idea that it's an open platform, and we're developing it in a way that everyone is kind of, you know, going to be part of the governance of the system. And we're going to be making decisions as a group in many cases. And for those who want to opt out, they absolutely can. And that's the nature of the free market. That's at the core of Nimbus. That's our ethos, our idea about how finance should be for everyone, right? Financial freedom for everyone. So really, really great job. You know, I myself was very, very impressed. And I think that the thinking that's gone into it, of course, I see parts of it from time to time, the things that I'm working on, but seeing it all, you know, laying out in a presentation, the way you did it, very, very exciting stuff. And I'm looking forward to, you know, basically the next steps, very much so, and looking forward to hearing more and working more on it. So yeah, thanks a lot for that. Fernando?
Hi, George. Thank you, Wasim. Thank you very much. I was on mute. George, are you still there?
Yes, I am. You can turn on the video if you want. I guess Javier is the guy heading the control panel. So 1 second. I think it's, I don't know who's the host. Maybe Javier. If you can turn it on, please.
Yes. 1 second.
Okay, it's good.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. First, a good afternoon or good evening, everyone from Dubai, I guess, depending on which time zone you are. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I think it's important, the statements that both Fernando, Javier, and Wasim made. I will add a few other important things to it. I am myself running several DeFi projects, and it is very important to note that DeFi is the future of finance, in the sense that it allows you to basically create a virtual bank, or create a bank without bricks and mortar. So that really means any kind of investment in such a facility is going to help you for the future in terms of generating a passive income that will make you successful. Other important elements, I think, number one, I consider is definitely cybersecurity. So any kind of solution, including Nimbus that we're putting forward, the code and the audit of the code is the number one step forward in terms of stability, because without security, we put the members at risk. So it is important to make gradual steps to get the code audited before the code actually gets released live. The point number two that is even more important than also the first one is that in DeFi, the user is in control. That really means the user is responsible for its own wallet. The user is responsible for his own staking of the tokens and is the one that actually votes on the action that actually take place. The third element that I think is important in DeFi is that everything treats every member of the ecosystem and the community in a fair way, in the sense that all the rules are actually applied to everybody the same way. So there's no preferential for the team leaders or anybody else within the group. So I consider these the three key pillars of DeFi. The first one is the safety and cybersecurity. The second one is the control that every member has in the community. And the third one is the code actually provides the rules that actually drive the whole operation. So looking forward to joining you in the next seminar, and I continue to assist the team on a daily basis as it moves forward with its timeline and project rollout. Thank you.
Thank you, George. So one of the things that I would like to finish with, look, I'm actually going to do something that I don't like to do often because it leads to people thinking too much, but I think I need to give confidence to all of you to understand the amount of work that is going on here. And, and look, also to show you, look where I am. Yeah, I am in our meeting room with everyone that just step out. Yeah, and they just went to have a little bit of a bite. That we've been working here for quite some time. Yeah, and we're going to continue to work as a team. And it is tough. It really is tough. But we really, it was my promise, and I'll deliver that promise to you. Okay, and I'm going to show something to you that I also didn't want to show, but I really want you to understand how critical some of these things are. Yeah, and the type of work that gets. And people sometimes ask why, you lock the platform, why this, why that, because having to constantly do new calculations and realignment and then see how it fits within the smart contract and all of those things, it just distracts us from actually going forward, and we had to make those. I explained this before, actually, it really distracts us from doing what we need to do. Yeah. And so let me show some of the financial calculations we've been looking at. Yeah. So can you see this screen, Javier? Is it possible? People can see it?
Yes.
So these are the tokenomics we've been creating, for the tokens. And the things that we create around these are not easy. It's extremely time consuming. Every time you need to change something, you need to realign, you need to test, you need to validate the models, need to look at the code. How does it fit within the code? Yeah. We create a lot of assumptions around this. And this is, by the way, this is only one of the spreadsheets. Okay. Then, cash flow. What does it mean? The revenue of Nimbus, and the cash flow, how that's going to affect cash flow. The tokenomics of NIM, yeah, over a period of time, yeah, how the token is going to grow over time. This is the representation of what's there, yeah, at staking, etc., etc. What is the revenue that you're all going to have in the end? All of these things. And again, by the way, I want to be very clear about this, what I'm showing you here to you, yeah, which is these are projections that we have, internal projections from Nimbus, okay? And this has to be extremely clear to you. And when you look at this and do these projections, and you have to continuously re-engineer, realign everything that you're doing because the numbers are constantly changing here on the origin, yeah, it becomes really hard, extremely hard. So I hope that answers to you to some of those questions. We actually spoke with some of the leaders about these issues, because then we really need to focus on all of those things that I was telling you that we want to do. we are absolutely nearly there, okay? And what I want to ask you is just to be a bit more patient, please, because, you know, the value that we are giving is value to you, yeah? And my drive is to succeed and be proud to have helped. Look, I didn't start this, as you all know, yeah? I came in September just to try to move us to the second phase, yeah? And I want to feel proud that I've done, within 3 to 4 months, I've started something that was already there, created by you and the people, you know, before, yeah? And this is my drive, you know? Once I've ticked that box, yeah, for me is to feel proud of something that I've done. Believe me, I'm driven by those things, okay? Everybody that knows me that I'm driven by those things. So I hope that this session helped you to understand that we are going in the right direction. We're doing all the right things, yeah? And we have to go at the right pace. So give us a bit more time, please, yeah? And you start all the things appearing, you know? You've seen already the new website. Again, we had to rush a few things around there. I was not very happy because the website is going to change, okay? Slowly, make it look better, add the things that are missing, you know, that I wanted. But I know there was some pressure for us to come out when we did it. We also, Javier, Alexandra and Lesia, they also send a questionnaire out. So we want to understand, you know, how you answer to those questions, so actually you can actually help the community to understand better things, you know, because in the end, this is going to be your platform. Yeah, this is a truly decentralized and from a governance perspective as well platform that you are in control of the entire governance of the platform. Yeah, and everything is automated through code, through the smart contracts. Yeah, so I ask you to reach to the people that I said before, yeah, if you have any more doubts. And I hope within a week, I'm here again and you are more happy because we're going to do more things and release more things. And then we can have another conversation about the things that we are going to release, okay? Javier, do you want to finish?
Sí, gracias, Fernando. Bueno, la conferencia se ha hecho en inglés por la complejidad de todo el discurso, pero intentaremos lo más rápidamente posible que sea traducida. Agradezco el esfuerzo de todos los responsables de canales de Telegram, también YouTube, que al final hacéis un análisis en profundidad de todas las comunicaciones que hacemos y ayudáis a todo el resto a entenderlas, ¿no? Como ha dicho Fernando, esto es un proyecto de todos y para todos. Estamos muy cerca ya de que todos podamos tener y disfrutar de este nuevo Nimbus. Y como muchos de vosotros sabéis, los que habéis tenido oportunidad de estar en contacto conmigo, estamos a vuestra absoluta disposición para cualquier duda. Ahora sí que es verdad que entramos en un proceso también de profundidad técnica de lo que pueden ser, bueno, el mundo DeFi, el cual también vosotros hacéis un trabajo, bueno, pues fantástico de educación y de que todo el mundo conozca cuando se puso el tema de MetaMask, que insistimos que todo el mundo intente hacer ese registro. A muchos de vosotros ya lo habéis hecho, pero por favor continuar para que todo el mundo esté listo. Entonces, vamos a hacer ese trabajo de educación y de ayudaros a todos para que cuando la fecha inmediata de salida, como dice Fernando, seamos una comunidad con un mayor conocimiento de este mundo y que todos nos beneficiemos de lo que viene. Y por mí nada más, Fernando, Wasim, Jorge, gracias también a todos.
Solo quiero una cosa más. Perdona porque la complejidad de lo que estoy hablando es tan grande. O meu español no es tan técnico así, ¿sabes? Que no quiero hablar portuñol, explicar unas cosas que tiene que ser bien explicadas. Después, a Javier o otra persona hace la traducción, esto es mejor para vosotros. ¿Okay?
Sí, y además intentaremos, como dices, Fernando, es decir, intentar agregar bueno, las grandes dudas o las grandes cuestiones y tratarlo a través pues, también de los líderes o también de las personas un poco que manejan grupos importantes para tenerlo claro. Queremos que todo el mundo entienda lo que comenta Fernando. Esta es una compañía que pretendemos que sea una compañía dentro de un año de 1 billion, ¿no? Una compañía que todos seremos culpables y responsables de ese éxito. ¿De acuerdo? Bueno,
okay.
muchas gracias a todos. Estamos en contacto a disposición y nos vemos pronto. Hasta pronto, gracias.
Hasta luego.